We are the Gujarat Technological University. Since its inception over a decade ago, GTU has been empowering young and curating minds to realize their true potential. Over 4 lakh inspired students are enrolled with one of the premier academic universities in India. With more than 450 affiliated colleges in its fold operating across 5 zones of the state, GTU, the International Innovative University, your place to move forward.
Hello students, myself Vanna Talreja. I'm presently working as lecturer in Government Polytechnic Khela, and today I'm with you to teach you a few topics of the subject called as Transmission and Distribution of Electrical Power. The subject code is 3340902. This subject comes in Diploma Engineering, Electrical Engineering in 4th semester. This subject is basically carried forward of the subject called as Electrical Power Generation that comes into in 3rd semester. So there you might have studied the different type of generations in of electrical power. Now in this subject you will be studying the two more components of the power system, that are transmission and distribution. Now what do you mean by transmission? Transmission means transferring something from one place to another place. So here we are going to study the of transmission of electrical power from one place to another place, and that can be done basically in two ways, using overhead lines and underground cables. You might have seen the overhead lines on the roads, the transmission towers, right, and the underground cables under the ground. Somewhere some electrical work is going, some in some residential place or in some industry. So there you might have seen the cables, right? And now distribution is at the consumer end, right? So distribution is of many types: three wire, three wire, three phase, four wire, right? So distribution is also a completely different term that is to be understood. Now to understand this transmission and distribution phenomenon in power system, the two components, we need to see the basic structure of electrical power system. So the basic structure is, I'll show you the diagram. This is the basic structure of power system. The generating stations. First is the generating station, right, where the electrical power is being generated. Usually we generate power at low voltages. I mean from 11 kV to 25 kV. That is what I have written here. You can refer, different books. So in different books there are different values, but they are approximately from 11 kV to 25 kV. Now the question arises in your mind, like why we are generating voltages, like sorry, why we are generating power at low voltages? Because as will increase the voltage, the insulation requirement of the generator will increase, so the size of generator will increase, and this will lead to the higher cost of the generator, the space, and the maintenance. So there are many things. So for that reason we are generating voltages, we are generating power at low voltages, right? So we are generating up from 11 kV to 25 kV, in between this, okay. Now and then it depends upon the power station, it depends upon the which type of fuel you're using, and which type of station it is, okay. Then there comes a transformer. This is symbol of transformer. This is symbol of the alternator, or the generator, okay, the AC machine, right? And then this is symbol of transformer. Now while we are using the AC systems, we have advantage of using transformers, which we cannot use in DC, because you know that you must have studied this in DC machines and transformers, that if we'll give DC voltage, DC voltage to the transformer, okay, so DC voltage and DC current are constant, the core of the transformer gets saturated, okay. So transformer will not work. So what is the basic function of the transformer? It steps up and steps down the voltage. Oh, it is also a transfer of power, right? So here we are using the transformer, uh, soon after the generator, this the work of this transformer is to increase the voltage. Whatever voltage we are generating at the power station, we are increasing it. Okay, so then comes the transmission level, that is 220 kV to 765 kV. Now in India, we are nowadays we are using 765. We have different line of 765, and but in abroad, in foreign countries, we are using they are using up to 1200 kilovolt also. And here that thing of 1200 kilovolt is coming in future. So right now 765 is going here, and there are many stages of voltages in the standard voltage levels. So 220 kV is one of the standard voltage level. 765 is also one standard transmission level. The levels are already predefined. So this goes to the tie lines of the other systems. So since the power system is connected in a grid, okay, there's a grid. So the tie lines go to the other systems. Now there's again one a transformer here. This transformer is used to step down the voltage. The first one is used to step up, and the second one is used to step down the voltages. Why we need to step down the voltage? Because here come the sub transmission stage, where you give power to the large consumers, right? Large consumers means factories, industries, so they need power at 11 kV, 33 kV, 132 kV. So you give power to them, right? So 33 kV, 11 kV, 132 kV, these are the standard operating voltages. Now again one transformer, here it is given. This transformer is again step down voltage, which will further step down the voltage, and then comes the distribution stage for medium and large consumers. So the primary and secondary distribution comes here. So for the primary distribution, medium consumers are there, and for secondary stage, there comes small consumers like you and me, right? Which uses three-phase power, which use single-phase power. So 415 three-phase, 240 volt single-phase power we use. So this is basic structure of power system, from generation till the distribution. So the whole power system is divided into three components: generation, transmission, and distribution. Generation you all have already studied in the last semester, and transmission and distribution are going to study in this semester, right? So again, I'll go further now. Now, the second topic here I'll teach you is performance of transmission line. Now, the transmission lines are basically divided into three categories according to their length, right? So, short transmission line, medium transmission line, and long transmission line. Short transmission lines are right up to 180 kilometers or 100 kilometers, right? So, medium transmission lines are up to 200 kilometers, right? And more than 200 or 250 kilometers comes under the long transmission line. So transmission line are divided into this category according to their length, right? According to the length, they are divided. Now, if you see in the screen, you will see the short transmission line, how this circuit diagram is connected. So transmission line is made up of three components, basically R, L, and C. So, but here you will not see the C, that is capacitor, because we are neglecting the capacitor here for short transmission line. So R and L are connected in series. This is a simple series circuit diagram, which you might have studied in your earlier semesters. So this symbol is supply, and this is RL, and this is load. So here the supply is given, that is your supply sending in voltage. In terms of the performance of transmission line, we are defining the parameters. So this parameter is known as sending in voltage Vs, right? The supply side. Then there is R, L, and the receiving end side voltage, right? So R and L are connected in series. So the transmission line, first of all, is made up of R, L, and C. R and L are connected in series, and C is the capacitor between the capacitance between the conductor and the earth, right? Okay, and since the conductors, the lines are connected, three-phase conductors are connected. So the capacitor is between the two conductors also, and between the capacitance created between the two conductors, and also between the conductor and the earth. and the resistor and the inductance is the property of the conductor itself. Okay, so that's why they are connected in series and capacitor is connected in shunt in parallel. But here we are not considering that, because capacitor is I have neglected in book. Book it is neglected because of the because its value is less, and we can neglect for the purpose of studying the performance of that transmission line, short transmission line, because the distance is less. So we are neglecting that. Now, if you'll see this diagram, you can see this diagram can be drawn in this way also. So Z is R plus JX. Obviously, R is resistance, L is inductance. So X is inductive reactance of the inductor. Now, I think you must have studied in DC circuit or in AC circuit the basic difference between resistance and reactance. Resistor is not a storage element. Resistor has the property called as resistance. And what does the resistance means? Resistance means resisting the flow of current. Okay, so according to the material of the resistor resists the flow of current, or flow of current, and accordingly the inductance of the inductor. Okay, what does it mean? It means that the inductive reactance means it will resist the change of the flow of current. Since we are giving AC current to the inductor, the AC current is flowing through the inductor, and inductor is a storage element. It stores energy in the form of electromagnetic energy. Okay, so the inductive reactance will not allow the change of the current flowing through it, and the current is changing. Okay, you should get this point right clear, as I'm saying that the current flowing through the inductor is continuously changing, because it is AC current. It is not DC current, it is alternating current, and 1 cycle is equal to 20 milliseconds, right? Because the frequency here in India is 50 hertz, right? So but since the inductor has the property called as inductance, the inductance does not allow the current to flow continuously. It will resist the change of the flow of the current, and that is known as inductive reactance XL. Okay, so this is XL. Now the whole impedance of the circuit is known as Z. So this is simple series circuit that is shown on the screen. Now we will draw the vector diagram of this circuit. How you will draw the vector diagram, I'll show you. So before drawing a vector diagram, I want to clear one thing, that whenever you're drawing vector diagram of any circuit, you have to take one reference, right? So here the terms that we have studied are VR, VS, IR, IS, R, XL, so before drawing the vector diagram, we have to first clarify that I need to clarify that you have to take reference. So to take reference, we'll take a VR as reference. VR as reference vector. So whatever we are drawing, we'll draw with that, with taking VR as a reference vector. Okay. So first of all, I'll draw a reference vector. So this is your reference vector VR. Okay, I'll name it as VR. Now we have to see the circuit diagram. That in circuit diagram, in your short transmission circuit diagram, the current flowing was same as, I'll draw here also so that it will be helpful to you. Okay, the circuit diagram was up like this. Okay, my drawing is bad, but just for understanding, this is your circuit diagram, right? So the current flowing here was IS, and the current flowing here was IR. Okay, but both the currents are same. So IS is equal to IR. I just want to tell you this. IS is equal to IR because the circuit is a simple series circuit, and the current is same, but I have just written here is and ir. I have given different names because just for understanding that the current flowing from supply side is known as sending end current, and the current received at the load is known as receiving end current. So is and ir both are same. Now I am drawing here the vr. Here this is vr. So vr is your receiving end voltage. Now here this is vr. Okay, and here this is ir. Now I will draw the vector diagram from the receiving end side. So first I have drawn vr. Okay, I have taken it as a reference vector. Now I want to draw ir. Now I will assume that the load is lagging. The load is of a lagging power factor. Okay, so the second assumption is load is of lagging power factor. I assume that you know what is power factor. So load is of lagging power factor. So for lagging power factor, you know that the current lags the voltages. Okay, the current lag the voltage. Now, how much it lags? So it depends upon which type of load it is. So this is your, okay, I need to erase this. I need to draw one arrow here because it is a vector. So definitely there comes an arrow. Okay. So this is your, what it is, current. No, which current? IR. This is your current. So I should name this as IR. Okay. And in your book, there is one line above this VR and IS. It shows that this is a vector. I'm not drawing it here, but it is understood. Now, here's some voltage drop is there in the resistor. Okay, that drop is known as I into R. Voltage drop. Voltage drop is current into the resistor or current into the inductance. Accordingly, if it is capacitor, it is I into XC. If it is inductor, it is I into XL. If it is resistor, it is I into R. So the voltage drop in the resistor is I into R, because current flowing through the resistor is I. The voltage drop will become I into R. Okay, so I'll draw the voltage drop across the R. So it is here. Now this direction of this voltage drop, okay, is same as this current. Why? Because R is not a storage element, and whenever the current flows through R, the angle between V and I is 0. Okay, because the power factor is unity when it comes to R. So the direction of the voltage drop is same as of IR. Okay, so I think you have got my point. You must have studied this in AC circuit. I into R. Okay, so this is first drop. Now second drop is here, I into XL. So again I will draw one vector. Now I will draw this vector from this point. Why? Because if you will observe, this is VR, this is VS. I have not written, but this is VS. Okay, so if you want to find the VS, you have to add VR plus this drop plus this drop, and you will get this. So I have to draw the, okay, so here, right? So this is I into XL, I into XL, right? Now, if you will add this drop, and this VR, you will get the resultant vector, that is VS. So this is your VS, right? This is your VS. So now you have to give the angles, you have to name the angles. So I will do that. Now the angle between IR and VR is phi R, this angle, phi R. Okay, the angle between VS, right? The angle between VS and IR is phi S. So this angle from this point to this, it is phi S. Okay. Now angle between VR and VS is phi 1. Phi 1. Okay. And this angle is 90 degree, obviously, because the current flowing in the inductor, if it is a pure inductor, and it is not here, but in pure inductor the current and voltages are 90 degree apart, sorry. So this is the vector diagram. VR we are taking as reference. IR is lagging behind VR by the angle phi r, because the load I have assumed it is lagging power factor. VR I have taken as reference. These are the parameters that you have to draw. Okay. Then and again VR, IR and IS both are the same because it is a simple series circuit. Now after VR I have to draw the voltage drop across R, so it is I into R, and then again the voltage drop across the inductor, that is I into XL. This is larger than this, always remember, because the value of this is large, the value of inductor is larger than value of resistor. Inductor is larger than resistor, right? So the drop obviously will be larger, and if you will add the volt VR plus this drop, obviously you will get this voltage. So this plus this, you will get this, and this is origin, so it is 0, okay, or O, whatever it is. So this is the diagram for lagging power factor. Now you have to draw same diagram for leading power factor. So how you will draw? So I'll rub this. Okay, diagram will remain same. So vector diagram for leading power factor. So again, reference vector VR. So here we'll take the reference vector as I, because for lagging, the voltage lag behind the current. So I will rub this. So what are the parameters that you need to draw? VR, Vs, IR is equal to IS, right? R, L we are not drawing, so we are drawing XL, XL, then VS, VS and that are shown. Okay, so these are the parameters that we are going to draw, and I'm taking I as a reference, right? So I means current as a reference. Why you can take any reference, okay? You can take VR also, but I am taking I as a reference because the in leading power factor the voltage, the current leads the voltage, okay, and in lagging the current lags the voltage. So I'm taking current as a reference vector. So this is your current, okay. So I'll write I here, or you can write IR also. So it is same, IR is equal to IS is equal to I, okay, you can write anything. Now you have to draw VR, okay. So we'll draw the VR. VR will draw from here, origin. Now VR is lagging. VR is lagging I. Okay, so this is VR. Okay, you have to draw the vector. I have done the same mistake again. So I need to draw arrow because these are vectors. These are not scalars. Okay, so this is your VR. So I will name it as VR. Okay, now same procedure. We have to draw VR, then we have to draw the drops. The first drop is I into R. So I into R, I need to draw it from volt. I into R is a voltage drop. So I have to continue this to draw this voltage drop. I have to continue from VR only because it is a voltage vector, not current vector. You cannot draw voltage drop from the current end. Okay, you have to draw only from the voltage end. So it will be here. Right now, why the direction is horizontal? Because the direction of current is horizontal. Okay, you understood my point. The direction of the current is horizontal. That is why the voltage drop across the R is horizontal. Because R is not a storage element, and the voltage and current uh, does not have any phase angle between them. Both are going together. Both are in the same direction. So this is the power factor is 0. So this is I into R. So I have to name it as I into R. Okay, now from here I have to draw the I into XL, the another drop. Okay, so again the arrow. Now I into XL. Now this will be, okay, this will be 90 degree. Okay, this will be 90 degree. So this is, I have to name it as I into XL, or X is capital inductive reactance XL. Okay, now this VR plus this drop is equal to your sending end voltage. Okay, simple. So this is your, here I will name it V into Vs, that is sending end voltage, and this is your origin. Okay, now I will give the angles. This is 90 degree, this is 90 degree. Okay, I, so this is your current. Okay, so current in VR, this is phi r. Okay, this voltage sending and voltage, and this, sorry, this voltage and this current is, okay, I have taken the wrong tool. Okay, I'll draw again. This is your current. Okay, now this voltage and this current, the angle between the sending end voltage and sending end current is phi s. Sending end voltage, sending end current, phi s. Receiving end voltage, this one, receiving end current, phi r, right? And this angle V, and the angle between receiving end voltage and sending end voltage, this angle is phi 1. Phi 1. Okay, so this is the diagram for leading power factor, right? Now diagram for unity. If the load is of unity power factor. Okay, I think there is no need of this. So unity power factor. In unity power factor, I'll take current as the, or you can take VR as the reference. Okay, it's okay, you'll take VR as the reference. So this is, first I need to clear this. So I'm taking VR as the reference. Okay, I'm not writing it. So this is VR, okay, reference. Now if you are taking if you are looking for the unity power factor load, the VR and I will be in the same direction, right? Because the load is of unity, so there will be no phase difference between V and I. So this is VR, this is I, and again the voltage drop is in this direction only. So this is like this. Okay, so first this is, okay, I have to write it again. It's okay. So I'll write VR here. Okay, this is I. I is equal to I is equal to IR. You know that now. This is third vector diagram I'm drawing, so you now aware of it. So I into R. Okay. Now from I into R, okay, there comes a straight line, right, for I into XL. So here comes a straight line, I into XL, and here comes a straight line, that is VS. Okay. So it is VS, and this is I into XL. I into XL. So this is very simple. For this is for unity power factor. Okay, this is for unity power factor. Okay. Now we need to see the what you say, the equations. So I will change the screen here. Okay, now you need to understand how you have to write the equations. So Vs square, that is sending end square, is equal to Vr cos phi r plus Ir. Now this, what is Vr cos phi? Vr cos phi is the cosine component of Vr. Since it is vector have components, right? So the Vr is have two components, cos component and sine component. So the IR is in the direction, IR is in the horizontal direction. So cos is also in horizontal direction, the cosine component of VR. And the sine component of VR is in the vertical direction or in the direction of I into XL. So Vs square is equal to VR cos phi plus IR the whole square plus VR sine phi r plus I into XL the whole square. So these are the VR and the cosine component of VR and the sine component of VR. This component is added with the resistive voltage drop. This component is added with the inductive voltage drop. Now, if we take out the square from this, so the other side will come as a square root, right? So this is the equation of the sending end voltage in terms of receiving end voltage and the voltage drops for lagging power factor load. First vector diagram that I have shown you. Now, second vector diagram which I have shown you is for leading power factor, and the equation remains same. The only change here is, here it was positive and here it is negative. So positive sign is for lagging power factor and negative sign is for leading power factor. Here I have taken voltage VR is a reference. Here I have taken I as a reference because here the current lags the voltage and here the voltage lags the current. Okay, the leading lagging concept you have studied in AC systems. Now for so this is the equation that combines both the things. Okay, and the okay, and the voltage percentage voltage regulation is Vs minus VR into 100. Okay, so and the power efficiency is output power upon input power. Okay, so voltage regulation is Vs minus VR upon VR. The definition of the voltage regulation is sending end voltage minus receiving end voltage upon receiving end voltage into 100, and efficiency is output power upon input power, or you can say output power upon supply power into 100 percentage efficiency. So these are the two parameters on which the performance of the transmission line depend upon. Okay, so this was for today's lecture, and thank you for being with me. We'll go further topics in other lectures. Stay safe and goodbye.